around here. Y'all don't know what's going on. Y'all, I figured it out, man. Like, y'all dudes need to stop catering to these women. You know what I'm saying? Why is shit so fucked up out here? Y'all displace focus, man. Y'all not getting what is the focus around here. Y'all focus on spending money on hoes to get what you want. It's like when you don't need to spend no money on them, man. Your focus is on what? I'm gonna stay at this minimum wage job and think it's gonna go somewhere in the future, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then you ask yourself, why is all your inspiration being sucked out? Well, it's easy. You're not even following your own instincts anymore. You're not even attracted to shit that you like anymore. You're just attracted to whatever the fuck that they'll show you. Like, you realize that you're all attracted to fucking Photoshop, surgery. That's some pretty sick shit. You're basically one step away from fucking a robot. You don't even know. And then what's worse is that you'll even contest that shit. You'll even make it seem like it's not true, but it's true. You guys are attracted to fucking robots, and you don't even realize it.
I mean, shout out to everybody who's watching this, but anyways, I'm letting y'all know some real shit, man, and I don't know who's gonna view this. If a family member view this, I'm letting you know, man. I'm not trying to get up on them, but women out here, man, y'all need to stop trying to play these little bullshit detailed games of, oh, a man has to be this way or cater this way or give me my glass slipper at 12 p.m. at night, exact time for me to like him and all this shit. It's unnecessary, man. You gotta stop being bitch.
It's not a new world.
You gotta stop being bitch made, man. You ever heard that term? Rappers use it. It's called bitch made. Bitch make you who you are. It's called bitch made. You know what I mean? Don't be bitch made. Alright? Don't be having these women reconstruct you, saying they're gonna change you, be who you are, man. Because really, us men are the prize, and these women out here, man, they all the same, man. They really ain't even doing shit with their life. They need some direction. And out here, man, you need a lot of direction because you'll get lost. If you get lost in this illusion, you're gonna be tied to it. And yeah, some people never make it out.
And then you'll be fucking Photoshop. Think about that.
Out here, they get tied to the illusion quick, man. Especially San Diego. People out here, they so caught up in all the Chargers this, the Chargers that, and I'm all about sports and how the weather, the weather, oh, it's so great, it's so great, it's so great, but it's not great as they assume it to be. You know what I mean? They don't see the corrupt government running underneath their fingertips. You know what I mean? But they have the ability to change it. I say underneath their fingertips because they have the ability to change it, but they choose not to because they're not paying attention to the little details that slip them every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the details, it's just little shit like swiping your debit card and then charging you. Who the fuck is supposed to be charged for a debit card? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like a form of payment. It's like if you use cash. I mean, who the fuck? Why would they charge you to use some form of a payment? So I gotta get charged to use a check, or I gotta get charged to use, you know what I mean, a money order after you already bought the money order. You know what I mean? So like, come on, man. Like, it's ridiculous. I've been rating around. I've been around. I've been from the east to the west coast, and I ain't never heard of no shit where you have to get charged to use a debit card. You know what I'm saying? Not even that. It goes deeper than that, man. It's just like high rent, low paid, low cost, low wages. You know what I mean? Like, we work harder for what? Less shit. You know what I'm saying?
And basically, you end up having to pay shit on time, but then you're never really paid on time. Like, really think about that.
Right.
Like, it doesn't even matter
who chase
you are.
After your money.
Yeah, you're running after your money. And then really think about it. Everybody's been turned into a debt collector in some respect. Because you're just running after money, running after money, running after money. But it's your fucking money. Why the fuck do you have to wait for your money and everybody else can't even just wait for you to get yours so they can even get paid? Like there's almost this like idea where everybody has forgotten how just the economics work just between people. Like just give somebody a fucking day for God's sake. And like stop referring to your damn policies as if that's like you're basically hiding behind a piece of paper.
All of them are. And I swear, you read about that. I was just talking about that yesterday. This lady, oh, the policy states that we're not allowed to. Bullshit.
Like your policy
And I'm
doesn't
like,
supersede the Constitution.
I'm like, well, send me that policy that you're talking about. So I want to see the reviews on that. See, man, I call bullshit all the time. It's about regulation out here, man. If you ain't got the regulating in your heart, you can't regulate in your mind. If you allow this shit to happen to you, it's just gonna dig yourself into a deeper hole that's so deep that you can't pull yourself out of. Believe me, I know. I dig myself in the holes all the time, but at least I know how to get out of them. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck. I couldn't imagine like if I didn't say half the shit I said to half these business people, they would have walked all over me, like for real. I was over here talking to this one lady on the phone about her company and how they run their systems and all that stuff. But if I didn't sit here and point out the obvious and be analytical about the details and tell them, hey, this is where you fucked up at, they would have never known anything. They would have thought everything he was doing was right, and that they can do that to the next person. So actually, I made it better for the next customer that comes in line after me, for him to be getting better services, because now they're more in tune with doing their fucking job. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, man. You've literally wasted my energy, breath, time, yelling at businesses, all types of management. It seems like every time I get angry, I get what I want. Because I always point the obvious out why it's making me angry, and it takes a lot to get me angry. And if I'm getting angry, it's because I really feel there's injustice in this situation. And there's a lot of injustice in this city, or everywhere in this country. We have built a foundation on holding on slavery. So come on now. But it's time to rise above all that. Some people y'all lost. Some people y'all don't know who you are. It's about time to find who you are, where you need to be in life. It's about you getting there to make it happen. And y'all need to speak up for yourselves and for everybody.
You have to think about it. Like, we're all really going after the same thing in the end. We're all going after happiness. And the way that we try to go after that happiness is all determined on what's available to us. And right now, look at what's available to us to pursue that happiness. We get to get stuck on congested highways that are ill-maintained. We get to do that in little sardine cans that we call cars that we are so attached to. But in the end, really think about it. It's a little steel coffin that you get to drive around. But oh wait, no, don't worry, you have insurance. A little piece of paper that's going to do nothing when your car wrecks against another car. And why is that? Because we haven't developed the technology for cars to drive themselves. But oh wait, look at that fancy little cell phone that you're now voice commanding, that you're giving it instructions to tell you where to fucking go. So basically, it's come down to this. Your technology is telling you what to do, and you're not even telling it what to do. And then you're wondering why you're so fucking pissed off. Because you're a fucking robot. You're a human robot, and you don't even realize it.
That's a good point. Everybody out here is a fucking human robot. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's doing the same thing as the next person is. Everybody's, he's wearing skinny jeans and the little bell bottom things. I'm gonna wear them now too. Oh, he's wearing boy leggings. Let me wear them too. Oh, he's wearing boy Uggs. We wear them too. What's next? You're gonna wear boy panties? Like, come on, man. Wake the fuck up. Stop trying to be like everybody else and be yourselves. Be individuals. What happened to being an individual was the most popular. Not being all looking like, doing the same shit. It's annoying. It's boring.
And then to the core,
who stands out anymore? You know what I'm saying?
Just to go to the core of that, imagine this. Think of all of the fads that you're mindlessly following. That's your identity now. look backwards even. Just look backwards at you, your family, and your family's family. It's now just a long sea of people just following fads and remembering things associated with them. That's not life. That's not even memory. That's just a bunch of products that you happen to consume, and you've created memories associated with them. And that's unfortunately the vast majority. And now you're wondering, oh shit, why is this Christmas so empty? Like, really think about it. Like, don't worry, I have shit to be grateful for this year. We all have shit to be grateful for. But why is it that it just feels so forced? Because nobody can really afford it anymore. And then, more importantly than that, we realize we don't need to afford it. There's solutions for things, but yet we're holding on to all these problems. And we don't want to see them anymore. We don't want to see them as problems. We just want to see them as solutions. And they're problems. Like,
yeah.
people dying on Black Friday, that's a fucking problem. Us throwing away food and then having a holiday like Thanksgiving and Christmas, that's a fucking problem. And then you're wondering why you're so fucking pissed off. It's because you know you're next. And you don't want to admit it. You're next.
And everybody out here is so blind to the illusion. It's crazy. Everything, music, everything. So fucking money, all this bullshit.
And it really is an illusion. It's like being stuck on the presentation layer of your computer, just the GUI, just seeing it just like, oh, this is the computer, just a sea of windows. There's more to it. There's machinery underneath it. And nobody wants to look at that machinery because they're afraid of it. They're afraid of even asking the question why anymore. If they're just told something is, then that's what it is. Well, here, for this Christmas, ask why. Instead of asking for something, ask why. And then you'll actually get something. You'll get a fucking answer. You'll get an answer that will actually affect you one way or another.
Yeah, this Christmas, man, I don't even feel like I'm in a Christmas spirit, but I do it for Jesus, my son, my family is all spread apart. So I'm like everywhere. My Christmas is not the most amazing, and I see everybody out here struggling every day. And I see everybody holding each other back, pulling scams over each other's faces in front of each other, not paying it. Just the little details that people don't pick up on. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's out to get each other. Nobody is helping one another. And that's our biggest problem. It's like y'all gonna bring each other down all at once. Because if y'all not helping, then y'all all helping to bring each other's demise. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah.
It's like they all helping to bring the negativity then. They all bringing that in, but they won't help to bring that positive energy that everybody else needs in this life. See, if everybody would stop and say, I'm not standing for this bullshit no more. I ain't gonna be making no $8 an hour if I'm working security. When I went through the guard classes and shit, I'm gonna make more than that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna make minimum wage when I'm over here risking my construction. Like, I've seen people in labor ready do construction risk almost like work compensation injuries, even fatal freaking death injuries for a minimum wage. It's ridiculous. Armed security guards getting paid $1 more than minimum wage when they have to go through guard training and gun permit training and being an armed security. That means you're now in a place where there could be possible danger, so you're putting yourself at danger, and you only get paid $1 more than an hour. You went through all that process to get $1 more. That's crazy. It's fucking crazy. It's like, yo.
And then here's the worst part.
You gotta work for yourself.
Let's dial it back a couple of seconds, even beyond just working for yourself. Working for yourself is just a way of dealing with the system as it is right now.
I'm talking about inner, outer, everything. You know what I mean? Just work for you. Yeah. Work for you. Think about you at the most highest aspect and work for that. Don't think about nobody else right now. I know they say, hey, give to others, but right now, some people are giving so much to others that it's taken away from themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, if you give back to yourself in such a way that you can give back to others, you'll be doing everybody a favor.
Oh, yeah.
On that note, society as a technology. Think about how just by giving the society the idea of racism, we have divided, we have come up with subcultures, we've come up with all these different iterations of human beings just on the idea that we're different. And then when we realize that difference and realize that we've created this smorgasbord of difference, we don't want to see that we can bring it back together because it's not this neatly chopped up cultural experience. It's actually more of giant bricks, giant stones that have been carved out by some good intentions and some bad intentions. But right now, we're just left with a lot of bricks. We're left with a lot of things that you can use to create a foundation with. And what are we doing with that foundation? We're making a really horrible society that will not fare well for any number of years. If we think that we can just take something and improve upon it and expect it to just carry us forever, it's insane. We can't even carry this type of existence into space because we'll get killed. Anything in space that has figured out that it can just cooperate with as many things as possible, and that will be an empire of some kind, wins. It's a simple mathematical idea. Imagine if space is infinite and everybody starts communicating. What's the logical outcome? Let's all fucking cooperate so that we can make sure that we have as much variety of things as possible and as much redundancy as possible. And then anything that interferes with that pretty much gets eliminated. So think of us as ants right now on the giant soccer field that is the cosmos. What does that mean for us right now? Is that we better get our shit together or else they're going to hose us out. And that's going to happen pretty soon. Like, look at us. We're a very dangerous species right now. We're paying attention to bullshit all the time. We have the technology to change all of our lives every single day to the point where we actually have a fighting chance. But yet they're starving, they're hungry, there's people that are going to be homeless tonight. And yet we have enough energy and housing to feed and clothe everybody. We have enough for everybody, and yet there isn't going to be enough today. And that's the day before fucking Christmas. And we know that now. And then we think, like, maybe we can solve it with money. Maybe we can solve it with donations. Maybe we can reallocate resources. But no, it has nothing to do with that. It's just the way that we fucking treat each other. We don't treat each other well on this planet.
No.
And what's the outcome of that? Look at what we're fighting over. We're fighting over land that is all ours, land that arguably nobody really knows how to fucking use. How many people really throw anything anymore? And we're fighting over land. We're sending people to die over resources that we really don't need anymore. And we know that. Because it's common ground all over the planet. So why are we fighting over it? If people don't want to share, we can't really force them. And then more importantly than that, all these civilizations that we're worried about on this planet that seem to pose a threat, if they're so primitive, then they'll die out by themselves. So what the fuck are we worried about? Why the fuck are we sending people overseas to die for nothing? And then, there's going to be arguments to make it justifiable. But then why is it that every previous war that we look at, we always seem to come to the inevitable conclusion that it was pointless? Well, now it's really pointless. Because we could be drawing our attention towards space travel, towards the exploration of the cybernetic realm, just the development of computers past the point at which they're just toys at this point. And even better than that, we can really mass proliferate information in such a way that we could re-educate the entire population up to a standard that's equal to where technology is
Well, let's
capable of
talk
doing.
about that education system. This education system is fucking crazy too. How the fuck have y'all been teaching us some bullshit for most years? I should have learned half of this stuff that I learned now. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that we should be learning like how to take care of, everyday things that we deal with in our natural house. Everybody should be their own handyman. They should have a course on basic auto mechanics maintenance
And
in
instill
high school.
with as much
Before
fervor.
they're giving out driving instructing for learning how to drive. They should be giving out classes on how do you do your oil change too. That comes along with the driving class. How to do a tune-up. Oh no, they don't want to give out that because then they lose businesses for other businesses.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point right there.
You know what I'm saying?
We all have driver's licenses, and some of us are good drivers, some of us are bad drivers. It's true, and yet we're all treated
It's the
equally.
structure out here, man.
Yeah.
If y'all were to teach everybody how to fucking do the basics of everything, even the basics of electronics, the fact that I had to go through a college course to learn about electronics or to put pieces in a computer together that you can put together, anybody can put together if you teach them in less than fucking a day. You know what I mean?
And what's sad now is that we know that if anybody can learn quantum physics, that means everything else below that in terms of difficulty is completely attainable. And yet we live in the society as if, oh no, we can't do anything. We don't know how to do anything. Let's let somebody else do it. And then we wonder why everything's falling to shit. It's because nobody really knows how to do anything, and then the people that do are worked half to death.
And then it's always specialized in a specific. Like even with the body, even with the mechanics, oh, I only do body work, or I only do engineer work. But you're a mechanic, you should be able to do both body and engineer. Learn both fields. You know what I'm saying? Like
take everything apart,
even
and
with
put it back together.
Yeah, man, like learn all aspects of your field. You know what I'm saying? Like it's even with everything. It's
Learn
like,
material sciences so that you can say instead
like
of, oh, it's made
if
out
you're
of plastic.
networking, you just know networking, but you don't know the programming part.
Yeah.
They're like, what's the deal with that? You know what I'm saying? You should be learning programming too. Programming, networking is like hand in hand, almost. You know what I mean? But I'm just a network guy. You know what I'm saying?
And we have all these specialized groups. And in the end, what does that mean? It means that nobody will really know how to do anything in the end because somebody else will do it for them, right?
Well, I need a piece of your knowledge to finish off my project. You know what I'm saying? How does that work?
That's not efficient.
Oh, because you got the rest of the of how to make it all functionable, but I only have this much information. So if you gave me a little piece of your information and put my information together, we can make something happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, people. Like, we could be learning a lot of shit that we haven't been learning. And it's crazy. Sacred geometry. Fucking all crazy shit we could have been learning. Astrology, deeper in astrology. Not just sun, no, planets, aligning natal charts, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Finding out who you are. You could have taught you that in freaking in elementary. Who you were.
And if you don't believe it, then you could disprove it using calculus. You could disprove it using trigonometry. You could disprove it using any mathematical format you want to use. You can use science to disprove it. But that's the problem right now. Nobody really knows anything. So all they're going off is just supposition. So something is right or wrong just because you heard it to be right or wrong. And now we're stuck in that. We're stuck in this zone where our information is being used against us.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Because all of our focus is being completely displaced. Like, really think about it. All your anger, all your frustration has gone towards what? Trayvon Martin, Ferguson. Think of it. Think of every tragic event that you can see on TV that has nothing to do with you right now. All that energy, all that hate, all that anger, all sadness, going towards TV shows, going towards your entertainment, basically. And then really, you know what's the real tragedy? Is that there are people behind all those things that actually have real lives that are being affected. But to you, they're almost like entertainment. But then it's not going to be funny when you are on the camera being paraded around for whatever reason. And that's really happening all around us. Look at the population. You're being paraded around. You're working for nothing. You're earning nothing. And then on top of that, you're asked to feel grateful. Grateful for not having the things that you should have and having the things that, and basically going without the things that you should.
You're lying about that, man.
Displaced fucking focus. So, alright, these things are tragic, they're newsworthy. But did anybody solve any of the prereqs to those problems? Did anybody go back and say, hey, let's really look at why this country still has a need for racism? Like, that's the thing. It's not even. It's not even a disease anymore. It's a requirement for the operation of this country. Without racism, it doesn't stick together. Almost. It's like the facade of freedom comes with this ugly side of racism behind it, and that's used to justify everything. Even this conversation right now is being either listened to or ignored because of one simple thing: racism. And we want to pretend as if it's like, oh, it's going away because we're solving it with all these bullshit ways. And it's not going away. It's not going away because vast majority of people don't really understand it. And that's the problem. And they don't understand it because they themselves are stuck in a mindset of good and evil, black and white, up or down, good or bad, positive, negative, male or female. That's a split. It's like mass schizophrenia and nobody realizes it.
Yo, can this shit save me?
Yes, it's saving it as a YouTube video. Yeah, it's an 8-hour broadcast. And all of this is boiling up to what? I may not be able to do absolutely everything, but everything that I know how to do, I know how to do for myself. And it just took the willpower to learn whatever it was. There are so many people that believe that they can't do something, it's as if they won't. And it's becoming an epidemic. It's so epidemic that, oh, let's start paying attention to other people's bullshit all of a sudden. Oh, somebody got shot. And you know what? Why are people shooting each other? Why are cops getting shot? Why are cops shooting? Why are people angry at each other? It's because they don't want to look at the wait, maybe it might be the president's fault. That's an easy one. It might be the fucking
always blaming the president.
Maybe it's the military. Shit. Maybe it's the military's fault. Always. Maybe they're so angry or something. Maybe it's their fault. It's got to be somebody's fault. No, it's not. It's
everything is the president's fault, huh? It's always blaming it on Barack. Y'all need to leave this man alone, man. This man's over here. He's getting old fucking with y'all, man.
It doesn't even matter if he's changing or not changing.
He's getting older fucking with y'all. Y'all are stressing this man out.
Because he has to babysit a country.
He has to babysit. Y'all little complaining little bitches. Y'all act like the little pre-model Paris Hiltons with a doggy in your purse. Y'all wanted everything. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't handle it. Y'all remind me of the stuck-up blonde-hair white girl.
And you know what's fucked up about it? Is that we're stuck in a mindset.
It's too hot. Oh my god, it's about my spot.
We're stuck in a mindset where we can't even escape our own shit anymore. It's like we're not gonna go into space, even with these problems. We can't. It'll just translate over. We're gonna have what? There's gonna be differences with people extending across. Oh, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna anymore. It's been there for a really long time. But we have differences that we're creating right now, and those differences are getting in the way of our ability to expand. Like right now, there's a lot of unemployed people. Sure, there's a lot of people that are employed, but there's a lot of unemployed people that would otherwise have a job if we had a booming aerospace industry. But what are we missing? Oh, we're missing innovation. So you're telling me that nobody has any ideas about any type of engine manifold, any type of fuselage that could permit for space travel? You're telling me that only like 5 or 6 people that we see in our magazine are capable of thinking of that? Bullshit. You have an entire sea of engineers that are working on power supplies right now. You have an entire sea of engineers right now working on nothing. And is there an explanation for that? No. There's just a lot of Fergusons. There's a lot of people getting shot. There's a lot of people in jail. You know why there's so many people in jail? Because they don't have jobs working in aerospace. Aerospace isn't just going to make itself. It's not just going to be an industry that's just going to roll out like the car industry. It's a full package deal. You have material scientists, you have mathematicians, you have computer scientists, you have engineers. You have the people that are involved just in the service of that machinery, and all the various human aspects involved with it that would just get an instantaneous surge boost overnight just by having aerospace as a focus. Mm-hmm. But instead, what are we focusing on? Oh, nothing. Some starlet that did something that he or she wasn't supposed to do for some reason. Somebody doing a controversy of some kind. Basically, we're focusing on people doing things they shouldn't do, and we're saying, yeah, that's what's wrong. That right there. That, what those people are doing over there, that's what's wrong right now. No. You know what's wrong? Is that everybody's going to bitch out and go for security instead of just thinking about, hey, what's good for the whole country right now? What's good for everyone?
Y'all don't even know that y'all really are safe. Y'all don't know where I'm from, Camden. Y'all need some gated community over there. But here, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, some of y'all are just asking for way too much security.
You know what? Fuck even the gated community.
It's like, why do you feel insecure about yourself or not feeling safe with yourself? You need extra locks from your door. You need a camera at your door.
Somebody might steal my stuff.
You need to lock your doors just because you hear some loud music. Roll up your windows and all this.
Here's a funny question: what's going to happen when all of your stuff fits inside a tiny little chip that goes inside your head? Why are you going to need the gates anymore? Nobody's going to be able to break into any of your shit because you won't have anything. Then what? Nobody's forgetting about, like, I remember all the houses that got foreclosed on. All those fancy gates couldn't keep the people from taking their homes. All the fancy alarm systems couldn't take all those homes and vehicles from being repossessed. So what was the point? What were you protecting yourself from?
You're feeling foreclosed because these motherfuckers are running out of money out here.
And then it's like,
they gonna realize it though. They gonna have to come up with something to get all the community back money in their pocket, so they can catch back up on their business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So eventually, it's gonna be a loophole. Either they're gonna have to get back, or they're gonna keep taking until there's nothing left, and then they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
And here's an easy way out for everyone. Here's an easy fucking way out. It's so easy that we could just implement it literally tomorrow. If we just started focusing, hell, we have let's create. Since this country loves dealing with fucking problems, how about we preemptively create a problem that we then solve? And it doesn't have to be anything scary. It doesn't have to be anything that involves bombs. It could just be making a spaceship, making a space station, making some type of strategic platform that allows for us to go up. Something, anything that is just a common goal for the whole fucking country. Not joining this or that organization, not funding this or that research, but a single, common, unified fucking goal for us to make a thriving conglomerate of industry. Me and my friend Ron G from New Jersey, we wanted to make a corporation called U.S. Farming Incorporated. What do we need to accomplish that? Loans, money, trust, the ability for people to just say, hey, you know what? They might be able to do it if we just fucking believe in them just for a fucking couple of seconds. And if that belief has a monetary sum behind it, so be it. But don't give me just money just to survive. Give me money to fucking thrive, and I'll make everybody thrive around me. Shit. Me and my friends, we've always wanted to create something. We've always wanted to make stuff with our hands, and we did. I ended up becoming a freelance engineer. My friend worked for TI. And now we want to make our own corporation. And what are we doing right now? Oh, we're struggling to, live. Oh, because that's just how life is. Life is about people struggling for no reason so that they go through this horrible, tumultuous test that proves that they are worthy of having the things that they are worth having. Which is bullshit. Because if you just teach somebody what they need to do, they'll make mistakes regardless. But instead of just making mistakes and having no answers and stumbling in the dark, they'll actually have their own fucking answers and realize, oh, wow, I made a mistake.
You know what this world remind me of? The Sims. Y'all motherfuckers are playing The Sims too much. It's like, y'all wake up in the morning and your life is controlled to this schedule. You wake up in the morning, you go to work, you come back, take a shower, go to sleep, do that, and it's like just like you play The Sims. I got bored of The Sims after a whole day, doing the same shit again, becoming a routine. And most of y'all becoming that routine because y'all don't see that it's out here is more better than just you working that 9 to 5 every day. You know what I mean? And coming home to the same bullshit every day.
What makes life really good is not having to deal with predatorial aspects of life. And here's the thing, we don't really have any major predators on this planet other than each other. And why are we all praying after each other? Mass ignorance in various pockets of the planet. Mass ignorance where somehow there's just not enough to go. And when you actually do the research into just the various problems on this planet, like our energy crisis or any other crises that we like to quickly frame, you realize that they're not really crises. They're just man-made problems that surround man-made solutions that somebody's making a profit out of. And what's even worse about that is that somehow, some way, we're making that our existence. We're making all these problems our existence so that we can keep going with it. It's bullshit. And then today, we're supposed to either feel grateful or ungrateful. Why? Because tomorrow is Christmas. Just another day that we made up. We might have even a religious background to it. We might have, a nostalgic background for it. But let's be honest. From every angle you want to look at it from, you should be fucking grateful anyway. So why are you going to wait for tomorrow just to make it apparent? For whatever reason.
You're right about that.
And then more importantly than that, sometimes, some years, we should cancel it and say, hey, you know what? We fucked up. Let's try again. And that would be healthy for everybody. To just be able to have a clean, nice, fresh start. Or it's like...
that with the Jews. If they did it with Christianity, some people would be like, oh, why Christianity? If they did it with the Muslims, they'd be like, oh, why Muslims? If they did it with the Jewish people, they'd be like, oh, why Jewish? If they did it with Hindu, they did it with Buddhism, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just a lot of people over here that want to be accommodated for some bullshit. And it's like, it's hurting other people around. You know what I mean? And those people who have the money, who have the wealth, they're wasting it on what? Nothing. Those people out here like us, they can use that money to produce even more mass wealth.
You know what? Fuck the wealth for a second. Just access to just common resources and tools. Yeah. Like, common resources and tools far supersede just giving me fucking money. Just giving me a warehouse with just bulk parts, bulk resources, and being able to put them together would yield more good than just misallocating it for some stupid reason. And what's worse is that the foresight of our entire civilization is being driven by people that have. I wouldn't even trust them to make me a sandwich, honestly. They would probably fuck it up. They wouldn't put the care and love into making that sandwich. And we're entrusting these people with our lives. And do we even know who they are anymore? No, it's not even. We can't even blame one person. It's like a communal problem. A communal problem of nobody speaking the fuck up or saying anything about anything. Why? Because they're too afraid to. Even though it's like, what? We get off on people saying shit all the fucking time. Why? Because, oh, what's going to happen? What are we going to do next? That's the big fucking question. What are we going to do next? Well, here's a question. What are we going to do next? I want to build a corporation that works in the aerospace industry. And you know where we're going to start off with? Bluetooth optical drives. Something that we can fucking make ourselves. That's where we're starting. Why? Because it's one of the tools, one of the many things that will just be a common thing in our future. A future where we don't have to frame it as convenient little packages such as laptops and tablets, but a wide range of technology that goes across every single, that transcends every boundary of time that we set. Why can't we just have everything? Why can't we just have every piece of technology available to us? Why do we have to have it in generations? Why doesn't anybody see that we're just being spoon-fed things in iterations of generations? Where it's supposedly getting better. But is it? It feels like all of my electronics are getting thinner and more unusable. Not necessarily, oh yeah, they're faster, but they also feel a little bit more unusable.
Oh yeah.
They feel like I really can't go anywhere with them. I really can't do anything with them except admire them. Admire them for what they are. Technological marvels. And that's fine. But let's be honest. The amount of electronic waste that we throw away, that's the root of the problem. Forget food. Food spoils. Electronics don't. And yet we make them, produce them, put energy and resources behind them, and then we destroy them. And then we ask, like, oh, why aren't you doing anything? It's because most of the electronics that I could have used to just make my life a little bit better have been crushed up and put into a landfill. And you know what's the crime about that? Is I know how to fix them. And then I have the nerve for people to ask me why I should just go get a job at McDonald's flipping burgers. It's because I would not only know how to make the machines that can flip the burgers, I'm fucking fixing them. So anybody that tries to accuse another person of not working hard enough can go fuck themselves. Because we're all in this together, working at whatever level we can. And let's be honest, at the level that I can operate, if I did have more resources, I probably would be the equivalent of Microsoft by now. But you know how it starts? It starts with people not treating me like I'm different. And I'm really sick of it being put on my shoulders as if I have to somehow believe in myself in a different way. It doesn't matter. It really fucking doesn't matter. You know what? In my recent history, what has come up to me, it doesn't fucking matter. I have changed so many fucking times. And the only thing that will really change is when other people also change too. You know, fuck this whole like personal responsibility bullshit. Everybody has to change too.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just some like one-man crusade to better himself. Everybody has to fucking pick up their slack too. Try a little harder mentally. Maybe think like, you know what? If I suck at math, maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe that's the fucking problem. Maybe that's why my life sucks, because I suck at math. And math makes up the known universe. And what do you need? Oh, you need a movie of Stephen Hawking before you pay attention to the damn man. Can't read any of his books. Oh no, you have to watch a fucking movie about him now. Oh, there we go. That's the solution right there. And now everybody gets to pat themselves on the back. Yeah, we're moving forward. Look at him, he's smart. Yeah, he's one man that in a wheelchair has done more than most of you will ever do in your own whole fucking lives. And that's really sad. That's really fucking sad. And you know what's even more sad than that? Is that more of your brain is working. Why? Because you're walking around. More of your brain is actually working than his. Because you're able to fucking walk around. You're able to function as a normal human being. And use that normality to bitch and moan about why the current president, his approval rating is low, it's high. So who gives a fuck? He has his own problems too. You know what's funny is that somehow we think that that gray on his head has to do literally with us too. No, it has to do with the fact that that man has to raise a family in this bullshit. He has to look at him. He's the president of the United States, and he is getting shitted on as a person. And then we're expected to do better than him? How the fuck is that even fair? And it's even beyond race. It's beyond race. It's beyond race at this fucking point.
You're right
It's
about
beyond
that.
even like class. It's beyond everything. It's
That was a
just
good point
mass
right there. That what
super
you just
fucking
said.
complacency.
You said what you just said. It was like he's trying to be as good as him.
Yeah.
He's also in our same situation. Like
He's like raising a family in this bullshit.
There you go.
That's what it really boils down to. And then we're like, oh, why is the country not working? Why is everything fucked up? It's because look at the most powerful man in the world
He's
right
getting
now.
shitted on by everybody.
He's getting shitted on. Exactly.
That's where it was. He's getting shitted on by everybody around him. How you expect him to grow, and for us to grow.
So here, let's look at it from a racist mind point. From a racist mind point, it basically means that we're all bullshit. Now, from the quote-unquote enlightened perspective, it still looks bad because it's like, well, he's the most powerful man in the world and he's still being shitted on. It basically means that no matter how hard we all try, the status quo of our understanding is what's holding us back. It's not even individual people. It's just our idea. It's our ideals right now that are so misplaced. Like, realize that there's a whole group of people alive right now that are not even has nothing to do with contributing nothing. They're contributing the idea of nothing towards nothing. For example, have you heard in mainstream media mass talks for interstellar travel beyond just movies and glib looks into technology? No. And you think that somehow your life is going to improve? What the fuck do you think you're all going to do when we have a huge mass population with nothing to do? Anyone? Oh, right, nothing. Because we're still mad at like all these random events that happen. So you ask yourself, what's the point? The point is that maybe you should be able to think for yourselves. Maybe starting with just thinking is a good start. Just thinking for yourselves and realizing that we have more potential than just the shit that we're afraid of. We have a lot more potential.
In fact, now that the bandwidth's cleared up.
We have more potential than just the bullshit that we've been presented with. We have more potential than half of what we've ever... I mean, basically put, we're always asking a question that has nothing to do with the right answers that we should be receiving. I believe in space travel. I don't really believe in God or religion. I believe in space travel. Do you know why I believe in space travel? Because I don't know enough of the science to say that I know about space travel. Do you know why? It's not because I haven't studied. It's not because I haven't worked hard enough. I've studied computer science, and I know that that's not enough to get me off the ground. It's just a portion of it. But at the same time, I know that if I were given the proper resources or even the proper guidance, I would be able to achieve my goal. And I don't mean going to a university. I mean something a little bit beyond that. People exchanging information just for the idea of preserving, just for the idea that somehow this information, whatever it is, through just life experience is worth more than just nothing. And I really believe that going into space and making an industry behind it will be a solution. Because the cold of space itself will push people closer together. It won't matter what's going on. I mean, in fact, any of the positive changes that are happening right now are a result of people finally realizing that the reason why we were so alone wasn't because we were alone. It was simply because we thought we were alone. And by thinking we were alone, we ended up being alone. And look at the focus. Look at maybe the reason why we haven't seen any extraterrestrials is because we keep imagining them away. Because we're so busy wrapped up in our bullshit to see that we can actually go to other planets. We don't even have to be around each other. If people on this planet really hate each other so much, then you at least make the effort to get away from each other with more style than just, oh, let's go a little distance and then pretend as if we don't see each other. If people on this planet really, really hate each other, then they'll want to go into space just for the sake of just being able to have a planet where they can just say like, ooh, look, it's all this one thing that I really, really like. And it gets to exclude all the things that I dislike, no matter how heinous they are. It doesn't matter, like, why I'm believing this. Fuck it, I have my own special little planet where everything that I ever could have wanted is there. Well, they get to have their wish too. That's what space travel yields for us. It gives us the ability to go a little bit further than just where we are right now. And then for the people like me who actually just want to just build shit all day, we get the opportunity to build an endless sea of technology that will allow for people to go into space, allow for people to survive in space. And it starts with the design phase. It starts with an idea and realizing that it can be accomplished. And I've been fighting for so long just to realize that I didn't really have to fight for it. It's like saying that you have a calculator and then you fought for all the keys on the calculator. Instead of just realizing that, hey, maybe you didn't really know how to use it. So what's this point of all this? That consciousness is a fucking flow. It's not some just static thing that you can encapsulate. It's not some static thing that you can just say, hey, this is what it is. I'm tired of being stuck on a planet that feels stuck, and then to just see space travel being put in the light as if, oh yeah, it's achievable, but it's, tomorrow. We're getting there, but it's not here today. It's like, if anybody is concerned about bullshit, they should call bullshit on that. My mom was born in a time period when we went to the fucking moon. And then I was born in a time period where we had space shuttles. And now, where are we at? Random little covert research laboratories here and there. No, there should be a rocket ship in every backyard. There should be a spaceship in every backyard. We should have figured out anti-gravity by now. But I can guarantee you this probably has nothing to do with it, but it probably has everything to do with it. Think about how many black men are in jail right now for nothing. Think about how many, sorry, not even just black men in general, just in jail for nothing. Alright, so they fucked up. How is anybody making it better? By keeping them caged? Oh, that's a solution. That always works. take something and then put it in the cage and then expect it not to just go crazy. That works. That's always worked. So, what are we concerned about? We're concerned that somehow we might get hurt. Somehow we might get injured. Somehow we might get tainted. Why? Sometimes I lose my point, but sometimes I remember. It's because after I say that, the only thing that should come to me naturally is every solution around gaining my ability to go into space. But instead, I have to focus on a lot of random things, random misunderstanding of things. And I just don't understand, oh, that's it. It's little things like the fact that all of our problems right now on this planet are exactly the same, which means that the solution to that problem should also be the same, right? But instead, we see it as being this big, complex web of problems, and then we feel aggrandized about how we get to solve these grand problems, but really it's just one simple problem. As human beings, we're not cooperating with each other. We're not helping each other out. If everybody said tomorrow that they would not accept money, we would all be the richest people in the world. We would all be wealthy. If everybody said, I won't take $1, I'll just do it for free. If everybody did everything for free, we would be free. Why is that so complicated? Because what are we getting? Like, I've just been passing around pieces of paper back and forth, and people are going to jail for passing too much paper. And then some people are going to jail for not passing enough paper. And what are we really passing around? The belief that somehow whatever we're doing is worth our time. If anything is worth time, then we'll do it. If anything isn't worth time, then we won't. Why is that so complicated? Why is it so difficult to understand? And yet we feel as if we need a solution to our problems, as if somehow we're going to solve our problems by solving them, instead of just realizing that there's no problems to solve. The only thing we have to do is just fucking cooperate with each other. Really, if everybody just cooperated with one another, we wouldn't need money. Think about that, really. Think about what you can't do, and then think about what you can do. Everything that you can't do, somebody else can do that thing. And then anything that you can do, then you can just do for yourself. That means that if we all cooperated with each other, everybody would be able to do everything for one another. We would all be self-reliant. But instead, we have this idea as if we really are separate. If we're so separate, why the fuck are we spending so much money trying to interconnect? If we're so separate, why the fuck are we spending so much of our resource and time creating this vast interconnected network across our planet? To prove what? What's the point? If it's just going to be used for Facebook and Twitter, so people can argue. So now we just have a digital domain where people can fuck each other over. Why? Because we're not changing. As people, we're not growing. We're staying stuck because we all want the same thing from one another, instead of just fucking cooperating with one another. Just really cooperating. Oh no, it has to be a return or something. Something cataclysmic has to strike all of a sudden. Somebody has to say, like, oh yeah, we all have to fucking cooperate. But what if we actually just did? Really cooperate. Like, the next day we say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to accept money anymore. I'm just going to have whatever I have. And you know what? If you have an assload of things, then nobody's going to take that shit from you. Why? Because they won't need to. Because they'll have everything they fucking need. So instead of everybody just making this more complicated than it needs to be, why doesn't everybody just cooperate with one another, help one another? And really, what does that mean? I like fixing computers. I like building electronics. That's helping someone, right? I'll fucking do that all day. Shit. Somebody has to. And every person that has that feeling about something can do that. And then all of our problems will be solved. Because all the arguments are what? It's just fucking misunderstanding over nothing. It's all just a misunderstanding over nothing. And we keep trying to make it over. You know why we want to make it more complicated? Because if it's more complicated, then that means the solution to the answer is worth something. It's worth all the people that died, all the people that we fucked over, all the people that we let die and get fucked over. It gives it all a purpose. Because if we woke up tomorrow and realized that the world was free, the day afterwards we would be free to basically mourn. We would be free to actually be sad for the things that we need to be sad over and give ourselves as much time as we need. And we're afraid of that too as a society, because what does that mean really? It means that there wouldn't be cops going in their drive. Like, everybody's afraid of cops or people, all these different groups. But none of these groups would assemble if they were all predicated on income. If any group is predicated on income, whatever grouping that is, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, a business partnership, a people to its nation, if all of that is based on simply the idea of getting what's mine, that's going to fall apart in the end, no matter what it is. So if we build an entire planetary society based on that, and we know that we're doing that, and we keep going because we're just so addicted to whatever fucking thing that we're chasing after, then we're fucked. And really, the secret to a free society is everybody just being free. Everybody treating each other with freedom. Having the freedom to just give each other whatever we deem fit. If I want to give bud to somebody, I have the freedom to do that. Why? Because it grows out of the fucking ground. Are you going to arrest the earth? You know who my dealer is? The earth. Go ahead. Go arrest the earth. That's where I get my weed from. The earth. Arrest it. Put handcuffs on it. Go ahead. And then the next time there's an earthquake or tsunami, you know why. That's basically, think of that as my lawyer. Fucking your shit up. And anybody that understands that knows what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Because the reason why Mother Nature is fucking your shit up is because you're acting like a dumbass and getting in front of it and saying, hey, I have all these policies that I'm going to rigidly adhere to because I need to keep a society a certain way. And I'm going to do this because I don't know a better way of doing anything. And then we wonder why that fucking happened. Mm-hmm. It's because we have carbon fiber, we have all these space-age materials that we don't use appropriately. Like, I can buy a carbon fiber tongue press right now. Yeah, I could buy a carbon fiber tongue press, but can my bumper be made out of carbon fiber? Oh no, I would have to pay extra for that. So it has to be made out of plastic. So it can break easy, so that somebody else can make money off of it. And that's the world we're building. Mm-hmm. That's the world that we're handing down to our children. That's the world that we're expected to hand down to our children. That's the funny part, because I don't want to give that world to my kids. But yet, I'm getting these like weird hand-me-downs of like, oh wow, what is this? Oh, more bullshit that I have to buy because I can't just make it myself. Mm-hmm. Oh, because I have to pay extra for that to happen. I have to study hard. I have to become something in order to just have the bare necessities of life. Oh, and then we're wondering why we're all unhappy, why we're all fucking smoking ourselves to death, drinking ourselves to death, pilling ourselves to death, eating ourselves to death. Really, the only person that can say like, oh, you know, I'm completely clean is somebody that's just drinking water and eating oranges all day. Like the bare minimums of life. Like they're the only people that can say like, wow, you're all a bunch of fucking junkies. Because watch. Tomorrow everybody's gonna eat so fucking much. Why don't you eat like that every day? Oh, that's right, you have to wait for a special fucking day to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can gather around your family and be happy. And realize this. Why are you spending so much fucking time away from your family just so you can dedicate one special little day for it? And then at the same time, why are you going to complain about how much you hate your family? And at the same time, want to be around them so much? Oh, I know. It's probably because our society is really fucked up right now. And it makes it impossible for healthy relationships to form correctly. Just a thought
about that one.
Like, I'm sorry, like, if we believe in the idea that a caveman just hit somebody over the head and dragged her in a cave and somehow that was, like, how we all began, then this shit right here is actually a little bit more primitive. See, the knock on the head is pretty fucking direct, isn't it? This shit is a complex dance of let's let time do all the work. Yeah.
Let's peacock. Let's see who has the best feathers and the best sounds. It's like what animals do.
Yeah, basically.
With a mating call. We're mating calling each other. And all of our fucking mating calls, it's not even.
And now our mating calls kind of sound stupid because they're empty. And then we're realizing, oh, it's because we're not delving into people. We're not really seeing who and what we are as people. Because it's early. And then, oh wait, society needs a long time to take hold and change. All right, well, in the 25 years that I've been alive, I went from seeing computers on a desk to computers in the hands of a homeless man. Oh yeah, that took forever. Wow, that took a whole fucking lifetime for that to fucking happen. Oh, but because there was a profit motive behind it, that's why that happened fast. So why can't we put that same energy towards aerospace? Why can't we put that same energy towards actually ensuring that people have a future? Stop investing in bullshit. Like, why are you all investing in these ideas that seem like good ideas? You know what's a great idea? Space travel. Space travel is a great fucking idea. You know why it's a great idea? Because everybody gets to get in on it. Even criminals get to get in on it. Think about that. Think about how your criminal organization, whoever you are, is stagnating right now. Or it's not going to go as far as you think it's going to go. And then think about how dirty your hands really have to get in order to make a little bit less. You could be doing that in space, too. And then guess what? There will be cops in space. So you know what? Everybody's a winner. We're going to need a military in space. We're going to need lawyers because we're going to have laws. We're going to have a lot of them, especially because we're assholes to each other and we want to create certain stipulations. There will be freer planets. There will be more restricted ones. But let's get the fuck off of this rock before we all kill each other over bullshit. Think about that.
In the inner state and outer state. It's talking inner mind and outer reality.
Like,
what your mind is runs reality.
And yeah, exactly. Our minds run reality, and right now, what I see is a big clusterfuck of reality where people have little to no imagination and think that whatever they see on the silver screen is the next best thing. Our technological capability far exceeds our imagination and understanding as individuals. Only as a community on this planet will we ever be able to actually see the magnitude of what we can actually create. And how are we going to accomplish that? We're not going to accomplish that with bullshit Facebooks, Twitters, focusing on random people's events in their lives and arguments and all these cyber. Like, really, look at all the shit that's going on the internet right now. Is that worth backing up? Ask yourself this question right now. If you had to save the internet, what would you save of it? If you could back up the whole internet, what would you fucking say?
Web browser, and that's wouldn't save none of this bullshit. I'll start from the beginning.
I would save all the knowledge on it.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
And then notice that if we started just burning everything else, all that would be left would be knowledge. Think of it as a reverse book burning. If we got rid of all the bullshit, all that there would be left with would be truth. And you know what? It's very easy to spot the bullshit. The bullshit starts with bullshit notices on your door telling you that you have to pay more for something. Even though the physical space that you live in hasn't really expanded. Like, really think about that. Like, to pay more for a volume of space that you were paying a set price for, then that physical space would have to have expanded in that given time. Right? Not some bullshit supposition of, oh, the market, oh, everybody's charging more, so we get to charge more. No, it would be based off of the idea of your physical volume has expanded. But because your physical volume doesn't expand, in fact, it actually contracts based on the amount of stuff that you put into the apartment, then, if anything, you should be always paying less.
True that.
In fact, we shouldn't be paying anything at all, just by the fact that it's not really being maintained other than us maintaining it.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because everybody is doing their own work right now. They just don't realize it. Everybody's being tricked into doing their own work. Like, I fixed my own computer for years. Why? Because it's almost like you're being tricked into learning how to do shit for yourself. And that's where we're all stuck in right now. We're stuck in the sea of, oh no. Like, really look at how fucking sensitive we've all become over nothing.
Softies.
Like,
Men ain't even men no more out here, man. What's going on? It's like we the only two left from fucking dying breed, man, out here. You need to stand up for yourselves, man. It's ridiculous.
and it's funny, like, people ask, why am I so tall? Because I've always been standing up for myself for nothing. That's the worst part. Like, it's not even just to defend myself. It's to stand up to nothing. Because that's what all of this is all about. It's about bullshit. Because really,
illusion.
Our bodies have nothing to do with what we're capable of doing. I have to change the way that I look just so that people feel comfortable with me being able to fix their damn computers. This is what I have to look like in order for you to feel comfortable for me to use your damn fucking computer. For me to actually fix it. Oh wait, hold on, let me look for it. It has to be a certain look going for. There we go. See, now it's okay. Now I'm smart because I'm wearing these glasses. Now you actually want to pay attention to me because I look different. Because looking different is important. Looking different makes you respectable. It means something. Looking a certain way means that you're qualified, that you're able to do your job, that you're able to do anything. That's a really good lesson to teach an entire planet. That's a really great lesson. Pay attention to the outside, ignore the inside, and you'll feel better. See, like these glasses, now you think I'm smart because I'm wearing glasses. Doesn't matter if you don't believe that. There's a part of you that really does. There's a part of you that prefers me wearing these glasses, saying what I'm saying, and would love to see me wear these glasses all the time. See, when I wear these glasses and I put on a certain type of shirt, that makes me qualified to actually work on your computer. And prior to that, if I wear this wife beater and I have on some weird beads, all of a sudden, oh my God, he doesn't know what he's doing. Oh no, it's crazy. Get him away.
Power, just dress code, damn.
Yeah, power of the dress code. Oh, and that's the best part too. With a dress code, it's kind of like this artificial way of enforcing Jim Crow laws without having the balls to actually do it. Like, really think about it. Like, the people that were actually discriminating in the past had balls. Now, everybody has these tiny little micro, like, grape balls. Tiny little grape balls that just go.
because they just don't want to say, like, you know what, I feel uncomfortable because you're tall and you're black. You make me uncomfortable. But no, tiny little great balls. Oh, no, you're wearing the wrong thing. There goes those great balls again. See, you have to look a certain way in order to be a certain way. See my hair like this? This is how I was born. I was born this way. But no, that's not good enough. I can't be born this way.
Oh shit, did it stop me?
No, it's still broadcasting. I can't be born this way. I can't have hair that like looks a certain way because it doesn't look the part. So you're basically saying that the way that I was put together at birth isn't good enough for your industry. Well, you can suck my dick. How about that? Because I'm going to get in it anyway. I'm going to get in it because nobody really knows how to do anything anymore. And the only thing that I have to do is keep believing that I can, and all of a sudden I will. In fact, let me take off the glasses. See, the computer is struggling right now because it's trying to put bullshit on top of me. So really think about that. Look how this computer's struggling to superimpose these glasses on me. That's how much fucking energy you put in to making a look for yourself. How much energy you put into the outside of you. Just because you're so fucking uncomfortable with that horrible little thing that you call you. Think about that. And then you're basing an entire industry behind it. You're letting people not be who and what they are just because you feel uncomfortable with them.
That's crazy.
So, no, everybody that always asks me, what are my qualifications? These are my qualifications. Reading these when I didn't have to, that's my qualification. Knowing how to fix my own damn computer, that's my qualification. Having my own equipment and knowing how to put it back together, that's my qualification. Being born in the internet age, that's my qualification. Let's see, my first laptop was a Windows 95. That's my qualification. I know how to read and write in English and French. That's my qualification. I can program in Python and C++. That's my qualification. Do I need to go somewhere and get a piece of paper that proves those things? No. Do I have to prove those things to you in order you to believe me that I know those things? Hell fucking no. Because I guess that's my right as a human being. But we lose sight of that because we're so busy with the outside. We're so busy with how a person looks instead of actually asking how a person thinks. You know, if you actually looked into somebody's mind, you'd be pretty fucking scared. Like, see, you know what this is? This is the outside of me being a little scared of really seeing the inside of everybody else and realizing what a clusterfuck it is. Because I'm fine. But I get to see around me a sea of clusterfuck. People that put energy and time into nothing.
You're not.
Just for the sake of doing it. Like the glasses that I put on, there's an entire effort behind pushing a look instead of looking up and saying, hey, you know what, we can go to space. We can make a fucking industry out of that shit. And then on the side, we can make stupid fucking sunglasses. But no, there are people right now that are getting ideas kickstarted that honestly, yeah, they're good ideas, but they're things that would just get developed if resources were just allocated a little bit better. Like, I'm sorry, but a Bluetooth anything should never get kickstarted.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I'm sorry to burst everybody's bubble, but anything that has Bluetooth in it should never get kickstarted. It's such a simple protocol that if you don't know how to take a Bluetooth module and install it to whatever you need to make wireless, you shouldn't have Bluetooth. You shouldn't have an endless iteration of Bluetooth subdevices to cater to your ignorance of the very device that you're trying to use.
That's ridiculous.
Like, our entire consumer lineup of products is a soft way of babysitting you and making you believe that you can't do anything.
That's good. All right, y'all better wake up. I'm about to fucking go take my shit
Yeah,
over
I
here.
have to go take care of some shit.
Yeah.
But think about it.
Alright. Y'all should
It's
think
Christmas
about that,
Eve.
man. We gave y'all that spoken word. We're gonna be back up on here again, yo. My boy right here, and that's Craig. You gotta check him out all day. You know what I mean? Yo,
And it has
He
nothing
just
to
gave
do
you-
with Cray. It has to do with Seymour Cray supercomputers.
Seymour Craig supercomputers, dog.
I've had that gamer tag since the first Xbox.
Hell yeah.
So it's not a fad. It's not me going like, hey, Cray, crazy. Crazy is already a short enough word to describe a way of dismissing somebody. So why shorten it even more? If you actually say cray cray, you're making it longer. So fuck you for even thinking that. And